The smacking of news and weather report will start now.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to the Smack It Off News and Weather Report with our producer, Doug Phillips. What's up, Big Day?
If you can hear me, then it's going to be a good night.
I can hear you, man.
Hell yes.
I love your graphic, though.
Yeah, I drew that myself.
I can tell. It's got that level of
Yeah, you can see that I put a lot of time into this. No, seriously, Ed drew this.
Oh, Ed drew that. Impressive. To quote Darth Vader, Ed, impressive.
What's up, guys?
What's going on, guys?
Not much.
And and I think Nikki's joined us tonight as well.
Yep, I'm here.
So what movie was my quote from, Nikki?
Star Wars. Didn't you
Which
say
one?
Star Wars?
Yeah, I said Darth Vader, so it's Star Wars. So just one of the original trilogy. We'll narrow down to the original trilogy. Which movie was that quote from?
I have no idea because I've never seen one.
Say it again, Bob.
movie.
Say it again, Bob.
So
I was thinking about other things.
I've never seen one movie. Never seen Star Wars.
Sorry, say it again, Bob.
Impressive.
Jesus Christ, Bob, I don't remember.
That's when
I mean, it could have been. You could have said, "Luke, I am your father," and I would have knew that.
So no, that same movie though. That's when he fights Luke Skywalker, but right before Luke loses his hand and Luke shows a little fight back, he goes in his best James Earl Jones voice. He goes, impressive.
You know what? I do remember that. You know what I remember more than that, though, Bob?
What's that?
It was the fight between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Star Wars. Sorry, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader in the original Star Wars.
Oh,
it was a terrible fight.
It was awful.
It looked like some shit that would happen at the old folks' home, did it not?
You did, and that's strange since Obi-Wan Kenobi was supposed to be one of the greatest Jedis, and technically, even though we didn't know this at the time, had already defeated Darth Vader at least twice, right?
Yeah, I figured it out, Bob. I did a lot of thinking on it. So Obi-Wan was old at this point, and Darth Vader still respected him somehow or another, and Darth Vader took it easy on Obi-Wan in that fight. It's got to be the answer.
Yeah, I'd say so. And plus, Obi-Wan wanted to go to his, I guess you could call it spirit self, and he commented to Darth Vader in the fight, "If you strike me down, it will only make me stronger."
Right, because he would die, and he would then become part of the Force, right?
Right, become part of the Force, and then he can still influence Luke and so forth. Influence events.
But you have to admit, at this point, none of them knew. Well, sorry, I realized that Jar Jar Binks came before this, but nobody knew about Jar Jar Binks.
For the better, I'd say.
I would think so, yes.
But this,
I think Jar Jar would have made a really good Sesame Street character.
Oh, I agree. This segues great into our show tonight, Doug, and I'm going to tell you why. So there's something else that's also said in The Empire Strikes Back that goes directly to everyone in the whole world's worldview and what it is, regardless of what their worldview is. It's what Obi-Wan told Luke Skywalker about his father, right? So he said, so Luke Skywalker says, "You lied to me. My father's not dead." He goes, "He is from a certain point of view."
Yeah, you got a point there. He was dead. He was dead to Obi-Wan.
I feel like I need to watch Star Wars. I've never watched Star Wars.
All right, so next week on Smacking Off News and Weather Report, we will watch. I guess we start with the Phantom Menace, right, Bob?
I think we just ought to all condense it down to the greatest movie ever made, The Empire Strikes Back.
That is the best one, but you know what? I'm one of them weird fuckers. I really like the prequels, especially the first one.
I like.
Is it okay if I admit that I do?
It's okay if you do what?
If I admit that I like them too, is it okay?
You know what? It has become like a thing that it's like frowned on upon society by society that if you admit that you like those prequels.
But I
I
didn't
think
like the
it's
third one though. I didn't like the third one, Doug, and this goes to Nikki. Nikki, we got to let you back here since you ain't seen none of them. And I don't think Nikki would enjoy the third prequel either because they turned Queen Amidala, a true fucking badass, into a whiny bitch.
He
Oh,
did.
so turned him into a Democrat.
Is that
They,
was it because she was
she
pregnant though, Bob?
wasn't Yes, but I think that I think she was probably force sensitive or something too. She had to known that everything was going to shit. You know, so
Well,
she lost
sometimes you gotta let shit slide, man. If she's pregnant, right, Nikki?
No, if she's a whiny bitch, she's just a
I
whiny
mean, she
bitch.
wasn't before that though. She wasn't before that.
She was a
Doesn't-
strong woman
Being
before then.
pregnant doesn't give you an excuse to be whiny bitch. Maybe just a bitch. Like hormones, you become a bitch. But the only time you're allowed to be a whiny one is like leading up to the actual delivery when you can't function anymore. But other than that, like that.
On Nikki's bad days, she's ready to revoke some women's voting rights by
Like most of them
making
at
them
this
take a
point, like,
test.
I think I would give up my voting rights just so crazy liberal women couldn't vote.
I told you, Bruce.
Nikki, I still don't understand how you could ever call yourself a feminist. It
I'm not a
boggles my mind.
I'm the first one to tell you. I think
She's a
everyone here
feminist
knows.
by some standard that's not today.
Never have I been a feminist to where I think women are equal and all this freaking bullshit.
Women are equal. No,
Take
women
me
are
back
equal. Women are
to-
equal. We're just different.
I
No,
want
the
to know
whole thing-
what dumbass
I agree
gave
with
us
that.
the right to work. Like, it's stupid. I want to be taken care of. My man's a provider.
The problem
if
is
you
that
look at-
women are good at a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff that man can't touch, and without both units going, you end up with
Well, yes, in the
societal
household,
collapse, and that's what we have.
your
I agree.
woman is supposed to be the one that takes care of your home. She's your nurturer. She's your support. She's your partner. The man is the one that provides. He's the one that goes out if needed to war. I'm going to take care of the home front and what happens in our country.
Well, then you're looking at biblical, philosophy there, Nikki. You're looking at the whole thing.
100%.
The hierarchy of what God wanted it to be was God, man, and
I've always been vocal.
woman
That's
and
how I live.
child.
And then dog after that, right?
You're right.
And then cat. Cats come in last, always.
I
right?
have always lived that way. I am lucky. I'm married to a man that if you want to work, you can work. If you want to stay home, you can stay home. He provides no matter what. He takes care of the family by that aspect, and I take care of it the other way. I've always been very vocal that our marriage runs pretty much on biblical terms. Is it perfect? Hell no.
I think kids need their mama to be that person, right? They really need their mama, but they need their daddy too. They want to see their daddy doing stuff. They want to be like him. They want to do stuff, but mama needs there to make the home stable for them so that they're comfy and they can develop. And then
Hold on, Bob.
So
Bob, did you ever see Meet the Sorry, it was Meet the Parents and then Meet the Fockers. Did you ever see Meet the Fockers?
Oh, that's
a great
movie.
Remember,
one of my favorites.
if you remember correctly, Robert De Niro, he had a strap-on tit that he could breastfeed the kid with.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
I mean, that can work, right?
No.
Come on, guys.
Trauma.
No.
Your kid's going to have trauma.
Hey, you know what was funny in that movie? It was liberal. It was the liberal saying that was going to fuck the kid up.
That is. We actually discussed that not too long ago because we watched it. We loved both.
Well, that's how much everything's changed. The liberal at that point, and he was the conservative, which he was a weird guy, but
I think
the character was.
15 years ago, even your normal liberals or your normal Democrats, as you would call them, still had a sense of normal. They knew right from wrong. They knew this stuff that's being pushed right now was crazy. This new breed has just gone completely whacked out to the point that the normal Democrats and liberals have turned the page. They now vote red.
It's just the whole scenario is just flip flop. It's no longer where, at one time the Democrats were the ones who created the KKK, and now it's the Republicans. It's just the whole narrative, the whole dialogue had flip flopped to suit the liberal.
But I don't think it
view
is
of
the
life.
Republicans, since you got a Democratic ran charity that's been paying the KKK and all of these other horrible groups to continue to do what they're doing because they didn't want the racism to stop.
And then to come back 55 years or 60 years later, and now the SPLU, which was initiated for this whole thing, we're now found to give money to promulgate that whole racial mentality thought.
Yeah,
Hey, so-
the
Could
Democrats
you
have
ever
never steered
develop
away
a
from it.
weird ass story like that? Storyline narrative like that?
Crazy, ain't it?
So I got to say this. So not only did they have to convince them to do it, I mean, to keep doing it or whatever. I mean, really, it hasn't been a thing in a long time. White supremacy hid under a rock a long time ago.
I
But
think it just
no, they had
doesn't
to
anymore.
give them money to convince them to make it appear that we still had serious racism.
Yes, and what's
$270,000 for
the
that
same
for the
same
Charlottesville.
charity, the same charity's also been paying prominent Republican conservative influencers to flip. And those names are coming out in the indictments.
Hell yeah.
It just
I'm sorry, you couldn't pay me enough to be a damn Democrat. I do not care. You couldn't pay me enough. Not in
well, the
today's
Democrats, I
society.
must say, of the 50s and 60s when I was a kid growing up, which my parents were definitely of that ilk, they were different. They were just different people.
My dad was a Democrat.
Mine was as
Just
well.
Father
turned
would
Republican
never take
and
welfare.
voted for
Never
Trump
take
his first term.
food
He could
stamps.
not
Just
continue.
for a minute, let's even examine the word liberal and what word it actually derives from. It's from liberty, which at a certain point, the liberals were the people who were anti-government.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like the parties have switched roles.
Yeah.
They're like neoliberal.
But
They're
at this
neoliberal.
point, but at this point, what the establishment's doing that the liberals are siding with is so much more ridiculous than it was 40 years ago.
That's because modern leftism has its roots in Marxism. I mean, that's really what it comes down to.
Yep.
And that's why
miss,
that's no problem.
I miss tree hugging, PETA loving, crazy, never showering liberals. I actually miss those types that were so about, no government, live free, save the trees, save the animal. Now it's let's kill everyone.
Except the trees.
Except for I don't know. They probably take them
The
down
trees,
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just yeah, it's crazy. It's
In the same magnitude right here, we're talking about what just went on when we're talking about how the times have changed, and this just changed over the last 3 days. Kevin Hart had a big roast. They roasted Kevin Hart. Okay. So yeah, if anyone watches a roast, they're pretty brutal. What you're getting yourself into when you watch one.
So what you're saying is that we've kind of resorted back to the 80s.
Yes, but here's the thing. Just a week ago, we had one side telling us that comedy had no boundaries. Comedy, you can laugh at how Charlie Kirk was dead. You can make fun and laugh of his widow. Comedy, no boundaries. Now because of
that
the
ain't what they were saying 3 years ago, though.
Yeah, but right now it's oh no, we have to have boundaries. They made a joke about George Floyd.
well, it's again whose ox is getting gored. It's at one time the greatest liberal comedian was George what's
George
his name?
Carlin.
Garland.
Yeah, I mean, everyone loved him. But then when he really got edgy and started sounding like a conservative, oh God, heaven forbid, he's public enemy number one. Which is it? What do you want?
That is
You know what?
That's been my whole thing this week is you want to make fun of Charlie Kirk on how he died. You make as many jokes as you can. You make fun of his own widow. Okay. But now that they said one joke about George Floyd, all hell has broken loose. They're trying to cancel Kevin Hart, and he isn't even the one that said the joke.
And they're looking to conjure up anything they can to feel offended. I don't care what it is. It doesn't matter. It's just like they're digging under all kinds of rocks to find I feel offended by this.
Bruce, we got to go back to George Carlin for a second and I love George Carlin as well. But the one thing I could never understand about George Carlin is he was anti-government as hell, right?
Oh, he was.
Mm-hmm.
But he was also anti-gun as hell, which I couldn't understand. Yep. It's like, government's not going to give up their guns. Yep. But for some reason, he always made fun of anybody who thought they should have a gun.
See, that was the leftist mentality at that time.
It was, but at the same time, it doesn't jive very well with the government.
Shit. Well, that goes right hand in hand what we're talking about, how things have switched and flipped. Just a few years ago, guns are bad, ban them, we can't have them. Now that it's the trans and the liberals that are committing these violent crimes with guns, now guns are good. I'm coming after you with a gun.
And there is very often now do I ever hear a person who truly is anti-gun. I find, other than my wife.
Well, I mean, a lot of times they're either anti citizens having guns, but they're typically never anti-government having guns.
Also, the size of your ammunition.
But I got to mention this since we're talking about all this governmental power and control, right? Just as a test, somebody sitting nearby at the time made a comment right in front of me, and I read it, and I watched them put it on their phone, and I read it, and it's still on their phone, related to what we said before. And then when it didn't come up for about 5 minutes, then they hit the hand wave thing. And what they said was, back to the tree huggers, they said, since it's obviously been censored by YouTube, is save the whales but kill those funky seals.
Yeah. I would just, there again, they want to. They only want to look at one thing, but yet they're willing to focus in on another thing, which really
it all comes down to one thing, Bruce. It's a lack of principle. They don't have any principle.
They have no principle.
No, because if you have principle, it's applied equally, and if you're not applying it equally, it's not principle.
And
they have no formal grounding.
You don't flip.
So the reason that right there is actually a quote from a Cheech and Chong movie called Nice Dreams that you can watch on YouTube.
God, I haven't.
Did I go watch it now, Bob? Or
yeah,
we finish the episode first.
No, the point is when I quote them, even though I didn't attribute to them, right? It's censored, but they're selling a product for 99 cents on YouTube that includes is where that quote came from.
Dang. Well, it's kind of like me being restricted this week for what I said on a post about someone saying they were going to take out our president, all the administration, and their supporters, and literally list how they were going to do it. And I got restricted, and that post is still up.
I'm Nikki, I'm more and more getting in your camp of your opinion of the leftist threats and their who's the guy that is the poster boy child now for the far left.
Parker. Is his name Saul Parker?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, have you listened to some of the verbiage that have come out of that man's mouth?
Yeah. And what's ridiculous, Bruce, is my comment back to this on this thread was that his local police and the FBI had been contacted with all of his posts, and I got restricted. And
That's
his post
awful.
is still up.
I'm surprised he hasn't had a knock on his door.
Yeah,
really,
it's a surprise that Facebook is still allowing it when
I
we
mean,
get
you talk
restricted for
about
saying the
inciting
stupidest
a
stuff.
I mean, y'all do have to admit that as crazy as, let's say, Candace Owens or the Groiper. What's the Groiper? The big Groiper's name?
Fuentes.
Fuentes. Yes, as crazy as they sound, they don't call for violence.
No, they
Well,
don't.
he's such a
Well,
lightweight. He
They're
couldn't.
kind of on the fence right now. I can't. They're on the fence.
About violence?
Yes, the way they
Do
say
I?
it is like Candace the other day on her show was telling her followers to go stab Erica Kirk because she thinks she's a robot and won't bleed.
Oh, she's just.
So they put things out there in a different context, but still.
And then, so they can say they were joking if anybody, if shit hits the fan.
Well,
Yeah.
It's still defamation. That's
And then
a threat, legal
defamation
threat.
to life, man. Because there's a crazy motherfucker out there that'll go stab her to see if she bleeds.
This is the worst part, is because right after that she says, "If you need to know where she's at, I have eyes on her 24 hours."
Fucking crazy.
You know what? I haven't listened to her in a long time.
No,
So-
she's gone batshit crazy.
Yeah.
Who is that? Wait, who are we talking about?
Candace Owens.
Candace
She's one
Owens.
that's named in the indictments.
Well,
that
you know
she
when
was
I
paid.
started seeing her slip was when she went after the gal, even though she had a right to do it, in LA, and went to LA to go the BLM lady who bought the $5 million home in the Hollywood Hills. I think she was legitimate in going, but how she went about it, I just felt like it was a stalker, like a stalker type thing.
And he's
that
doing
she
this
was
thing right
doing.
now, the same exact thing to Nick Shirley.
Yes, she is.
But we have to understand this woman has 5 lawsuits against her at this moment. I can promise you Erica Kirk and Turning Point USA will be filing one as soon as this trial is done. Because at that point, they have all the discovery, they have everything that needs to be subpoenaed, and they're going to take her ass out. It's not going to be pretty.
Well, I hope they do, because I don't wish anyone to, but she's putting herself in such a litigious manner and throwing herself out there. And I don't know whether it's to get clickbait or to
it's money.
Really stimulate ill people. But when you do that and you create that activity, man, you're just.
I think she's a jealous person to the point she takes it to bullying because she can't handle it. She has hated Erica Kirk since they got married. She wasn't even invited to their wedding because of how jealous she was.
You know, I truthfully think that there's somebody there's people in the establishment that are basically paying both sides to try to agitate violence.
Her name is on the indictment for the SBLC.
Well, I could easily imagine that. I
250-some thousand. You sold your soul for 250-some thousand.
How about Fuentes? Is he in there?
Yes, he's in there, and so is one other. I'd have to pull it up. It's another influence. Oh, Tucker Carlson. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. And then there's
all
two that's
people
not named.
within the last 6 months have totally gone into the opposite direction. Well, Fuentes was heading that way, especially after he got called out from being. He was kind of like labeled, and we're starting to get labeled at that time, and they were calling him a nationalist and all this. And then that's when he started really going off track.
Well, Candace just screwed herself like big time. She's been on a Jew hate kick. She hates them. She went completely after them. Well, her 3 lawyers are 3 of the top prominent Jewish lawyers in the country, and they dropped her ass.
And
walked away. If you
She'll-
hate me so much,
about-
I'm not going to fight for you in court.
She'll need to hire some Iranian lawyers.
Yep. And if anyone knows right now, that's like my biggest, like what's eating me to the core is all of this hate towards Jewish people. I think it's the most disgusting thing. To hear, oh, I don't hate them. I'm just going to acknowledge all of the bad they've done. You know what? There's bad in every culture, religion, race there is. You cannot clump everyone into that.
It's hard to think of a lower percentage volume of people in the worldwide, okay, that have been so marginalized. To think that everything in the world that is going wrong or heading into that direction has been created by this small group of people.
Yep.
It's
guys, been very vocal about it. I can't stand it. I will not allow it when I'm present, because let me explain something. There's some really shitty ass white Christians. That means like horrible ones.
You really, yeah. I've seen some people who are so-called religious people say some wacky shit and do some wacky shit, but it's okay. I don't see the balance in there, but
I don't either. It's the same as me saying that I have an issue with the Iranian regime. I do not have an issue with Iranian people or Muslims in general. I have an issue with the bad apples in that group.
No, I have a direct issue, not a direct, but I have an issue with the Muslim religion as I've done the research that I've done and looked into the religion itself and all three forms of government of the Sharia, Hadith, and Islam itself. I have an issue when it's conquer the world, and either you join more religion or you don't, and if you don't, you're a dhimmi and you're a second-class citizen and you will pay a jizya,
or you may die.
Or you die.
But I also look at it.
There's no other options given to you. None.
I look at it on a level that I come from. My whole dad's family's from Lebanon, and they got away. They made that choice, but they were raised to believe a certain way, and you had no other choices. I don't know the religions that are like that, but I have an issue with that. But I can't have an issue with the people that was forced into it. It was life or death. Especially if you live if you're in the United States, you can have a freedom of choice at this point. But if you're still living right in the middle of it, you have zero choices.
Now, guys, I got to get something. I've been trying to get something here for a while. So when you look at influencers on both sides, conservatives are more likely to reject someone like Candace Owens or Nick Fuentes or other extreme people like Tucker Carlson, right, and discredit them, right? Even though they'll still keep the more extreme members of the right, will still follow them, and they'll probably make a living that way or whatever it is. But on the left, they never reject their nut jobs.
No,
they put them on a pedestal. What's that girl's name? I don't know. She's a blonde. She looks like a skeleton. She's been on Ozempic. It's either Jill or Joe something. She's freaking crazy. She's a podcaster, and the stuff she says is no different. I mean, it's always calling for violence.
Who's this?
I blocked her on all of my social medias because what she talks about and how disturbing it is, I don't even want it popping up on my feed. It's that disgusting.
Goodness. Now there's this one that kept coming up on my commercials on my Roku here. So every now and then I watch Roku TV because I got like endless World War II documentaries, right? And I'll be bored, and just like golf or Reds baseball during the day, it's really good to take a nap too, So, but the commercials to it, right, are this woman is just a bitch, and she's a hardcore liberal. I'm like, how the hell are they targeting me with this commercial? What are they trying to say to me? She's got like a horse nose, a horse face, kind of like that woman that was on Sex in the City.
I know who you're speaking of.
Wait,
which woman from Sex in the City, Bob?
The one with the horse face, the one that was in Ed Wood.
I don't really know. I haven't seen Ed Wood. Oh, I have, but
who
it's been
you're
a long
speaking
time.
of.
Yeah, Johnny Depp was in that movie, and he said she had a horse face, which is true. But she was in Sex in the City. I guess she was the main character, and I didn't watch a whole lot of that.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about, shit, what is her name?
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yes, Sarah Jessica Parker. She does. Yeah, I don't know if I never thought of Horseface, but yeah.
Let me look. I think
she's definitely a little more hype with her
about.
looks than what she's worth.
I'm not trying to dog her. I mean, she's kept herself up pretty well. I respect that out of her. But
yeah, she's not attractive. There's something unattractive about her.
Right. So anyway, she's got an influencer that looks a lot like her. That's blonde headed. The woman's out of her mind, right? And who is that, Nikki? You think you know?
I'm gonna look it
I'm
up.
trying to think of her name. She is such a disgusting person. You don't even want to remember her name.
That's why.
Oh yeah.
It's
Like,
one of
and then
those.
what's crazy is she's always with AOC. She was
Right.
like with Jasmine Crockett. All of these people, and all she does is call for hate and violence.
She's a big spokesman for the leftist mentality.
But
That far
started
left.
losing her looks. I swear she's on Ozempic. Like her face is starting to cave in.
It looks like she's on a gigantic dosage of Botox.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of her.
Guys, I got to tell you a story about this. So, years ago, when I was working for Northern Telecom, it's a company that builds and installs and maintains switched equipment all over the world, right? Well, anyway, so I was working for them, and I had a project going on in Miami, and I was living in Deerfield Beach, and my family had not got down there yet. I was trying to find a nice apartment in a gated community, and the company was going to pay for it anyway. So I was looking at these little townhouses like side by side, and I went and met the realtor, and then he was a nice guy and stuff like that. So we went back to the office to do business. So I get back to the office to do business. This woman comes out, and this is in like 1999, right? So I'd never seen this before, and her lips was swelled plumb up like this, right? And she was, I seen her and I was like, damn. I said, what the hell happened to you, baby? I said, this may do you like that? I said, why don't you go get him so I can smack him around a little? And she goes, she lost her mind because I thought she'd been smacked upside the face, right? This man jack slapped her or something, made her lips all swell up like that. And then the guy in the realtor car goes, oh man, you hurt her feelings. What's it? I said, well, whoever smacked her like that ought to be hung. I said, why don't you show me where they're at? And he goes, no, you don't get it. She paid to have that done. I'm like, what?
You mean she had the injectable lips and all that
I
stuff?
just sent you. Her name is Jennifer Welch.
Yes.
Jennifer Welch, that is her. Yes. That is the one. Absolutely.
Yeah, she is
probably one of the
really.
most vile humans I've ever seen in my life.
Goodness. Oh, you talking about hypocrites. So there was some that grew up next to me, and when my mom and dad got divorced, you know, they were big churchgoers, threw a bunch of money and around and stuff like that, and act like they were righteous. And they you know, they were better than everybody else, and they constantly gossiping and spying on my mother, who did nothing but work. And you know, and I knew them all their life. And one of my best friends, dad was their brother. He was so, you know, they were like aunts and cousins and uncles to him and his grandpa. And he watched the dog on too. It is just disgusting, right? Well, they were also holier than thou, but then their whole life changed when their brother, the brother of one of them, who I grew up around, and I always thought he was kind of strange. Next thing you know, he's showing up at church with a black dude, and that's his husband, right? So now all of a sudden they're behind all that, even though they talked it down for years. You know, and I'm not saying this wrong. People do what they want. I'm just telling you how they acted, right? So I heard from them every day how you shouldn't do this, shouldn't do that, how vile and disgusting that was, and and then and how much, and they were bigots, right? Which disturbed me because my mother didn't teach me that way, so that's not how I am, right? So then I had to hear that filth too. But when their brother shows up in church married to a big black dude, right, all of a sudden they're on a whole different program, you know, and the whole church is broke up over in Westwood. right? Because the fact that you had someone was willing to accept this unrighteousness, and some of them that was real traditional and didn't want to accept that unrighteousness, right? So, the biggest hypocrites I ever knew. And I grew up with them. I watched them my whole life. It's the craziest thing you ever seen. And so that's why the old regular Baptist is the only church as an organization that I have any faith in. And it has nothing to do with religion. It has to do with and whether or not they're right or wrong, because I think they're out of their minds, but they only do two things. One is they only go with the literal interpretation of the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
And part two is they don't take no money. And the preacher's not paid. So the fact they don't take no money and the preacher's not paid, it makes me a lot more less skeptical. You know what I'm saying? So if you look at people, it's really an influence peddling game, right? When you get to the point where church is just something that you use for your status in life, right? Jesus said, pray in a closet, hide yourself in a closet, right? So anyway, if you're showing out for the purpose of church as a social or even economic tool, so you can know the right people, all these things, I don't really know how much I love that, right? I'd rather do this. So, but people do need to get together.
Candace Owens is doing right now. She's
So,
using her faith.
So I got a question, guys.
A way to push.
I have a change of subject question. I'm seeing here on the Gateway Pundit that the U.S. Secret Service and the press got into a tense 30-minute standoff with Chinese agents during Trump's visit. Does anybody know the story?
No.
Oh.
Well, shit. I guess I need to share this link.
I heard there was more of. I think that was Obama's first trip to China.
No, this was today, I believe.
What happened? Did they threaten the president? Are you saying that?
No.
There was a standoff.
Remember the gal that was Obama's main gal, the black, and she was later.
Sorry, you mean the press secretary?
I don't think she was his press secretary, but she was his main brain.
That's scary.
And she became, I think, the DOJ for a minute, or she was head of some legal department. But anyhow, when they got off the plane in China, the first trip in, they got in a real big argument, and they wouldn't let the Chinese had separated her from Obama's entourage. And when she was, I think she created a scene to get into the entourage, back into the entourage, and the Chinese people wouldn't let her in. They virtually physically kept her separate from Obama.
Oh.
God, what was her name?
I don't know.
And they almost started shooting each other.
But what I'm talking about was today.
I hadn't heard anything about that.
Yeah, I've had the news on all day too. I've been keeping up with what all's been happening over there and what's already been signed. But I hadn't seen any of that.
No, everything went fine, but
yeah,
but when they landed, there was some type of standoff.
Oh,
well, they say that the Secret Service, a Secret Service agent, when they tried to go into the event, was accosted by the Chinese for having this weapon. They wanted to be unarmed. And so what is it right here? Was reportedly blocked from entering Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping's visit to Beijing's Temple of Heaven with their weapon on Thursday. According to reports, the incident triggered an alleged intense standoff that delayed entry to the venue for over a half hour due to heated discussions.
So the Secret Service can't be unarmed.
Yeah,
ever.
Normal.
Right. So so I got to attribute that since that came from Fox News. So I got to give them an attribution. But you're right, Doug. I mean, that'd be implicit in your agreement to have the event that the Secret Service be armed. You know.
You have to, especially in foreign grounds. I'm sorry.
I guess if we're going to do that, we're going to have to start meeting in where Pakistan.
Yes.
Yeah, that's really worrisome to me as well. And I hate it that U.S. officials have to show up in Pakistan because they're our friend, but only at the most shallow level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's very superficial. I think it's more
Yeah.
about money,
I
but
don't trust
spiritually they're with the rest of the Muslim world.
Yeah, I don't
Right.
trust any of them.
It'd be difficult for me at best, but but anyway, so that they've had several standoffs since all this went on, actually, and you just mentioned that one is the most intense. And as you say, Doug, the Secret Service has to be armed to protect the president, or otherwise the foreign government could do whatever they wanted. Now, if I found it interesting, what would happen if a foreign government sees sees the president of the United States on their soil?
If they seize the president,
Yeah, if they seize the president, they capture the president and imprisoned, whatever you want to call it, restrained him, held him, jailed him.
have you ever seen Mars Attacks?
Oh, I've seen it. Yeah,
Be something like that, Bob.
because I think the House Democrats would say let it go.
Yeah, but our military wouldn't.
Yep.
I think it could get ugly, But the Chinese, I don't think they're going to do anything. I think that they want to make a show that they're not intimidated. They've got a save face. That's the Oriental thing, saving face, right?
I believe the U.S. and China are both intimidated by each other.
Yes, but it's a cultural thing with the Chinese to save face, and that's what they call it, so they don't look bad. Just like in India, it's a cultural thing to never admit that you failed or that you made a mistake,
and to never admit that your citizens are taking a shit right on the street.
Right. So anyway, I'm just saying. So
that's a new Indian custom, by the way.
Oh goodness, a new one. I figured it went on for years with all the people they got.
If I ever go there, I'm gonna do like you do, like the Romans do. I'm gonna take a shit right in the street.
So
are you gonna wear sandals?
Question about
I don't know. I might hide behind a tree, Bob.
Because I want to walk
and then throw it out in the street.
So I want to walk through India from one end to another. What's up, Nikki?
What is your guys' thoughts? As soon as Trump boarded the train or plane to China, they raided Gabbard's office.
Yeah, they're denying that. Sorry,
yeah,
Gabbard's,
they're denying that. Totally.
Yeah, something happened, but Gabbard's basically downplaying it and saying it was more or less one agency saying this wasn't done correctly and we have to do this correctly or something like that.
Because that's really like that.
We have 13 agencies that are considered the CIA, but are not all the CIA.
Because they were told that they weren't allowed to pretty much, CIA wasn't allowed to pretty much do what they just did, especially with Trump not here. And the stuff that was supposedly taken being like the JFK files and some other things that haven't been released. It's just it just makes me wonder. You can downplay it, but when it first happened, they knew exactly what was taken and everyone was freaking pissed off.
You ever notice when they release information on stuff like this, it's always about certain things that are never really solvable or just something to distract you. Like
it comes to nothing.
Yeah.
It comes to nothing. So you got Roswell. I'm going to name a few of them. So you got Roswell, right? You got MK Ultra. All this stuff is Project Mogul. That's why I meant to say instead of Roswell, right? Project Mogul is where they claimed it was a weather balloon, right? And so on and so forth. I mean, so all these things are, people act like it's a big deal to release them, but it was all bullshit and all about bullshit.
I know, but see, that's why I questioned when they said that it was the JFK files that were taken from her office. The Democrats has been very, very vocal, not wanting them released. There's definitely something in there that's being hid, which we all know that, I'm pretty sure. So it really makes me wonder why.
To me, I wonder at this point, as far as what's being hid, if it's what's being hid is the fact that most of it is bullshit.
Mm-hmm. That's
Because
what
as long as you keep a conspiracy alive, right, you can continue. So it looks to me like we're in a whole psyop on all this recent conspiracy, and even the release of the UFO files the UAP files. Like it's just a psyop to keep people deflected and not keeping their eye on the ball, such as things that are happening in China right now. And we're seeing them throw out the red carpet and all that. On one hand, on the other hand, they're having a standoff. I mean, so there's lots to deflect from.
So,
And
so I shouldn't be out in the yard after the podcast looking for UFOs, Bob? Is that what you're saying?
We look for them every night.
So,
I mean, I've never seen one, but I'd like to.
No, I mean, I would. So I think that it's either this. We've either known about you. If there's alien life, we've known about it for a long time. And so why are we bringing it up now? Either that's the best case scenario. The worst case scenario is it's a bunch of bullshit.
So there is surely some kind of alien life somewhere.
We're really looking at this real problematic stuff. We just want to conjure up all this dust and kick it up in the air, and let's look at Epstein's files. Let's look at this. Let's detract. We're looking at these shiny bright objects in the sky and saying, oh yeah, these are all conspiracies, and they're this and they're that, and they're not looking at the national budget of what we owe. That's a real concern.
Well,
which is what Thomas Massey is worried about, and what Rand Paul is worried about.
So let me ask, guys, how many of y'all are holding a lot of cash? Anybody?
I don't think I haven't.
Okay, but if you're holding something that is payable by cash, that's also a problem, because they're fixing to inflate us out of this debt. It's coming. We're right around the corner from it.
And with him
and when they do that, the people that are holding money are going to be the ones paying for it.
Yeah, probably so.
Yep. And that's the last time this happened was right after World War II, I believe. And they inflated us out of it.
Well, then he wants to do what they did after World War II.
Yeah, exactly. Anytime that the the debt is higher than the GDP,
because we're in such debt.
Yep, look for it. So what's going to happen is the government's not going to pay it because the government don't have anything. All the government has is the ability to come take money from you at gunpoint if they need to. But what they're going to do is they're going to take it, and that's why you see a lot of countries trying to get off the dollar as their world reserve currency because they know that this correction is coming.
Well, from what I'm understanding with Trump's changing Jerome Powell, getting him out and bringing this young man in, the new one. He's only like a baby. He's like 33 years old.
You do realize that Powell's not actually completely leaving. He's staying on as an advisor. He's going to have a vote until 2028.
Which is, I think, is ludicrous. I think he's a huge part of the problem. But he, in some ways, in listening to him, I think he's right of easing interest rates down.
It depends on what perspective you're looking at this, because we're going to collapse at some point, and he's trying to figure out how to keep this going a little bit longer. And Trump's bringing in a guy who is trying to
have zero interest. Go back to the zero interest rate.
He's trying to drop the interest rate lower than the inflation rate, and that's going to transfer all the debt to people who are holding assets that are payable in dollars.
Right, and Trump is looking at that to trigger the economy as a huge stimulator of starting to buy product again and
I will say at least in Trump's favor here is that Trump's going to try to grow the economy at a rate that nobody feels anything. It probably won't completely work, but it'll be better than the Biden years.
And then bringing labor back to the country, and I don't think AI is I'm not a strong proponent of building AI the way they're doing. I know we need it, and I can understand the ramifications behind
I think
it.
it'll be fine. I don't think AI is going to be what people think it is. It's not going to like take up manual labor and stuff. But what it's going to do is it's going to be a problem solver for.
It is a problem solver, but the problem solver do what we hope it will do for us, is help us get out of this hole that we're in.
Yeah, there's a way to do it. It's very balanced. You have to grow the economy at the same rate that you're stealing from the value of the money. It's
correct.
Exactly,
and that's a
what you
tricky thing to do, Doug. That's a very tricky thing to do.
It is a tricky thing to do, but at least with Trump, I mean, with Biden, they weren't even trying to do that. They were just stealing from the currency. They weren't trying to grow the economy to counter it.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying the tariff money, though, is defrayed a bunch of this debt.
What tariff money? They've all been struck down, Bob.
Well, while they were enacted,
last one was struck down, but
he did it under bill.
No, we have a temporary one right now. It'll probably go to the Supreme Court. When Trump replaced the old tariffs with the new 10% across the board, that's all struck down.
Yeah.
Yes, I know that. I should have remembered that. That's true. So, who are they saying does have the power to impose tariffs?
That's the damnedest thing, Bob. Up until Trump, the president. But now that Trump's president, now that Trump's president, nobody, I guess.
Well, actually,
Bob, it's you. Bob, you make the call.
Back to Congress. It goes back to Congress for them to initiate.
Bob is giving all his tariff power to Trump, aren't you, Bob?
Yep, because here's what I would do. I'd put tariffs on every electric vehicle, every motorcycle, and every plastic Walmart toy, every piece of electronics, and every piece of computer equipment that came out of China.
You mean my guitar is going to cost me more now?
No, you got to, yes, so you might as well buy a Japanese one.
All those electronics are in it.
I mean, not necessarily. I mean, if you buy a Japanese guitar, it's going to have Goto, right? It's going to have Nippon Gaki electronics, right? It's going to be better than the Chinese guitar for the same money if there's tariffs on them.
I don't know. Those Chinese are making some fabulous guitars right now. They really.
I haven't seen any, but I'll take your word for it. I've never seen a Chinese guitar personally. I've never seen one that I thought was any good, but. I mean, now they're putting American electronics in them if you pay enough money.
I don't know. I like my Gretsch.
Well,
22. It's
a lot of them are Korean and Indonesian, though. A lot of those are Korean and Indonesian, though.
Well, I got one Indonesian, one Japan, and one Chinese.
But I ain't hating on people that's buying them, and I've heard they've gotten better. I just personally had a bad experience with them. But, like I said, so it costs $1,399 to buy an Epiphone, Chinese Epiphone that's dressed up exactly like a Gibson, dressed up but not so finished.
Yeah, a Les Paul.
And
they're just coming out with it. Epiphone's coming out this last Tuesday.
It has American parts. And it has American parts in terms of tuners, pickups, electronics, so on and so forth. That's $1,400.
Nice looking guitar. Ooh,
it's pretty. And I tried one at Guitar Center, and it was a decent guitar, but I can take that same $1,400 and buy a vintage Japanese copy of a Les Paul that's better.
Which I would.
What's that called? What's that one called, Bob?
What's that?
What's the Japanese version?
Tokai.
The Japanese version is called there's several of them. So one route to Japanese glory is called an Epiphone Elitist.
Yeah.
Right? Another route is called a Tokai, not a Love Rock, because that's after the lawsuit, but a Tokai Les Paul Rebone, that board. That's the holy grail of all Japanese guitars, right?
So what's the Chinese version then?
They've got ones you can buy on Temu all the way through to Epiphones and other off-brand copies of Les Paul.
Get me the Temu. Send me a Temu brand, Bob.
Oh, you never get that ad in your Facebook where they're trying to send you the Randy Rhoads guitar?
Every 5 seconds.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't even see ads. They just blur. They blur. I look at an ad and it just blurs.
I'll send you one. But anyway, make a long story short, so there's two other Japanese copies that are beyond belief, and another one that's more than adequate, right? So the two others are Bernie and Greco, right? And Matthias Jabs played a Bernie copy of a Gibson Explorer when he was the beige one with the black stripe, Doug, if you remember it, for many years. And then you've got Ibanez. And then they made some great Ibanez made some great guitars in the 80s that were Japanese, are fantastic. So I can pay the $1,300-$1,400 for them, or I can pay $900, I can pay $600 to $1,000 for what were cheap American guitars. For example, the first Eddie Van Halen endorsed guitar wasn't made in USA, it was made in Japan, but with all American components. And that is the Kramer Focus. And that's the one he's holding on the 1981 cover of Guitar World magazine, the white one that he later put black stripes on. So I own one of them. But believe it or not, you can get them as cheap as $600. Now, as for somebody that's played heavy metal since the late 70s, that is one of the greatest guitars ever made. I mean, it is unbelievable what you can do with this thing, right? It's got a real Floyd Rose. It's American made. It's got an ebony fretboard. It was made in Japan by real quality and all with American parts. And my Kramer Focus, if you play metal, it's a fantasy magic thing for $600. And the Chinese can't possibly match that. But if you can go new Japanese, these days you're talking $1,500 to $2,500 and go back to Gretsch. Yeah, and you're going back to Gretsch, right? So a new Gretsch that's Japanese is anywhere from $1,800 to $3,600.
So you're saying these Pacific Rim nations all made Gibson copies?
Yes. So anyway, so they also made Fender copies. Tokai also made Greco also made Fender copies that were fantastic, and they were also in the lawsuit. And I've got some of them, and they're fantastic. But anyway, but now, so you got to look at Gretsch, and you got to say, well, I love Gretsch and their unique character, and it's Japanese build. It's a fine guitar. But now I'm looking at $2,500 for the Gretsch I want. Laura, it's almost $3,000, which would be a white penguin, right? So if I could get a white penguin, I've seen them as high as $3,200. Then I got to say, well, damn, that's a lot of money. What could I do with $3,200 in the world of Gibson? And then I see that a brand new ES335, just like Clapton paid with Cream, right, costs $2,800. I'm like, golly, I don't really want that white penguin no more. I want this American-made ES335 that'll always be worth money and will never go down in value, right? So I'm going to buy it.
My dad used to have a 57 Gretsch Country Gentleman.
Yeah, so those were not that. Yes,
and
that's
he
really
didn't even
nice.
play guitar. He bought it just to have it or whatever, and I used to play it. It was a cool playing guitar.
I've got the matching amp to that, believe it or not. And I can send you a picture of it right now, right? And that amp is one of the holy grails of all Gretsch amp, and it's the Chet Atkins Executive Country Gentleman.
Yeah, that's what his guitar was, the Chet Atkins Country Gentleman.
Yeah, so I could literally send you a picture of the Chet. I wish I could put this on the show, right? Because that's how fabulous it is. But, and Chet Atkins was not a chump. You know what I'm saying? So if he because I got my old iPad here, and it's already on this iPad somewhere. Here it is. So here's the front of it. It's a work of art. Here's the back where you can read that it's the Chet Atkins Executive Country Gentleman. Let's see. Oh, yeah, this amp had a tuner in 1960, guys. In 1960, this all-tube amp had a built-in tuner. That ran on a tube.
That's cool.
That ran on a tube. And this amp works right now, and it's one of the best sounding amps I've ever owned. But anyway, I think that's fabulous. We got off on that. But I'm just saying, so you look at the tariff, and with Chinese guitars start costing the same as Japanese and American guitars, you're going to buy Japanese or American. And the Japanese are our allies. They need that money to build their own version of the
I have a Japanese
better.
Ellie that I love.
Oh, yeah.
It's
So,
a Penline 82 knockoff of a 72.
So,
And
Bob,
I love it.
Bob, I know you consider yourself a libertarian, and I do too. In principle, in practice, I don't know if it works. The libertarians don't have any answers whatsoever. But the libertarians I've argued with about these tariffs, they're like, man, we need free trade. And I'm like, you don't get it. these other countries are putting tariffs on our shit. So if
They
we
don't
don't tariff them back, then our wealth is transferring to these countries that are selling shit here.
It's going right
It's
out
like
the door.
it's like people are undermining us intentionally. Does it ever seem like we're being undermined intentionally?
It does, and it's like they don't get it, and it's like, okay, so yeah, man, tariff is a tax. Okay, yeah, maybe it is, but here's the thing: if we have a free market world, I'm all for it. Fuck tariffs, ban them. But
Okay, I'm
that's
going to
not the
ask
world we
all
live
of
in.
us on the group right now. Do you know of any product that you bought within the last year that has a tariff on it? Or has
I don't know if
increased
it
the
has a
price?
tariff on it, but I'm one of those people that my wife says that I'm the tightest person that she knows. And like I haven't bought anything in the last since Trump's been elected. Only recently with gas have I bought anything that's pissing me off. I can tell you that.
And even gas, I
Nothing
can't
has
blame
been
him.
higher than. I mean, prices only dropped during this whole tariff period.
Now, Bruce, I got to let you know to interject just for a second on speaking of tariffs. So now I sent in the chat a picture of the holy grail of all American guitar speakers ever made, which there's two of them in this amp, right? So now that's made in China, and I wouldn't put one of them in a AM radio.
Bob,
You know what I'm saying? So you can buy this exact speaker now, even though this is a 1960 model in the picture in the chat. So you can buy that exact speaker called a Bluebill. You know, to me, it's called a Bluebill. It's got some model number or something. But you can buy that exact speaker this minute, right, from any music store, catalog, whatever, and it's made in China. And I wouldn't, it's a piece of trash.
Yeah,
And I wouldn't own it for nothing.
Yeah, there's
Bob, what's the holy grail of BB guns?
Oh, man, it depends
Red
on who you
Ryder.
are.
The Red Rider.
Yeah.
Bruce knows.
I know the Red Rider personally.
Yeah. So
That
anyway,
was- everyone
that's the thing.
as a kid, everyone wanted one of those.
We have
Yeah,
them.
but we
You
were
got one, Nikki?
you were definitely quoting a Christmas Story, though, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
My
As
kids
long as
have
we're clear.
No, everyone
So-
wanted the Daisy BB gun. You know. And
What
believe
were
me,
you saying, Nikki?
We use to shoot each
That-
other with.
The Red Rider was the first BB guns my boys got.
The Red
know
Rooster,
what?
the rest of
Did anybody see a Christmas Story Christmas or whatever the new Christmas Story movie?
Yep.
No, I haven't seen it. Was it any good?
Oh God! It
I
was on
guess
last year.
it was all right for a minute, I guess.
Yeah.
They totally pretended that there was no mention of the Red Ryder BB gun in it. None.
Really?
Good.
That's too
There was
bad.
something that like it was all focused around something, but we never could figure out what it was. He went up in the attic, and you would think he would pick up the BB gun, looking through his mom and dad's stuff or whatever. No, there was no BB gun.
I had a
There was
BB
no
gun for
mention of a
about
BB
year.
gun. Nothing.
They
And
they
then
made
right after I had my BB gun, I got my first 22.
Good.
I just think people are so sick of propaganda in movies, and that's what's happening. Like nobody goes to see movies anymore. It's because it's a bunch of bullshit.
the last movie I went to see is What Happens in Vegas, and that was over 20 years ago.
When was
You're not
Yeah,
going to see the Mandalorian and Grogu? I wonder what social message that the Mandalorian and Grogu has for us.
Are they? Is that in the theater, Bob?
Oh,
What
the
is it, like
last
May-
one I went to was Ford versus.
God damn it,
Versus,
Bob! How long do I have to wait for it to be on Disney Plus?
Well, when it flops, it'll probably be like 3 weeks.
You
Fucking,
can pay for it on streaming even the day they come out. That's usually what we do. Like if my kids are like, "Oh my god, I want to go see this movie."
yeah, because I
We
can get microwave popcorn that'll feed us for 9
Exactly.
movies.
And it's only
No, I
30
think-
to stream it on your TV. You get it for 24 hours. And to
Yeah.
take a family to 5 now is like close to $100.
Oh, absolutely.
Good.
I can't
No,
do
I
it.
can see that.
I seriously, I don't even like eating out anymore. I mean, even fucking fast food is so expensive that it just pisses me off.
Do you worry about the safety of the food when you go out anymore?
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Is
Yes.
it just me or I notice a lot of junkies working in the restaurants?
That's always
I
been a
went
thing.
out to dinner in
I think the
March.
management's gotten weaker though, Bob. So there used to be people to make sure that no bullshit went down, and I'm not sure it's there anymore.
No, I'm looking at Ed. I think he's eagerly anticipating the Mandalorian Grogu. Are you going to go see that, Ed?
No.
Hey, y'all want to meet up in where's the central location? Let's meet in Nashville, guys, and go watch that.
I'd love.
Wait,
to go to
no, wait.
Nashville.
That's not fair for Bruce. Let's meet in Topeka.
No, I want Nashville. I'd love to go.
Yeah, Bruce.
I'd love to go listen to some good Western country
Yes.
Western.
We'll have Bruce beamed over like they did President Scrooge in Spaceballs.
I just like to go to some really sleazy jazz bars in Nashville.
Ooh, that'd be fun. Well, then we should go to Memphis, really, because they have the best like blues and jazz bars.
You might get shot though.
Did y'all ever watch? Did everybody here watch Parks and Rec when it was popular?
I'll buy his bulletproof vest, guys. It says smacking off on them.
But didn't they say that they approved there in Memphis since Trump brought the troops in?
Yeah, it's been better. I have a friend that lives there, and he said 100% he sees a difference in the crime and what's going on the streets already.
Well, we like that. Now, if that's the same thing in Nashville, because there's a lot of drunken hillbillies in Nashville, so I think you'll enjoy it, Bruce. So we should go, when we all go together, I think we should raid pawn shops, because Broken Dreams produce used.
I love pawn shop hunting.
Me
Right?
too.
Guitars.
So Broken Dreams.
I love doing that.
I do too, but pawn shops go through
how
cycles, though. Pawn shops
my
go
wife
through
doesn't
cycles.
know how many pawn shops.
This is one of those cycles there. But nobody's got
looking for guitars.
Nobody's got no money, so this is that cycle. And Nashville's full of Broken Dreams, and they're represented by used Les Pauls and Telecasters sitting in pawn shops. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And so that's where you go down and swoop these things up, right? So over to, of course, I'm almost, I'm 58, going to be 59 in the next couple of months. So, people say, damn, Bobby, how do you get all these guitars? I said, because I'm almost 60 and I know when to swoop up and lock in on them, right? You can't buy them when they're high. Just like anything, you never buy high, right? You buy as low as you can.
Bob, you do the same thing that these real estate moguls do, but on a smaller level, don't you? You do it with guitars.
With
guitars. You got.
Did you see
that's how I got my 82 thin line made in Japan.
That's a nice guitar. It's one that I truly love to get my hands on, Bruce, actually, and put my little fingers on and just see what happened. But did you see the RO 1960 Les Paul I posted recently? No, I showed it. Didn't I show it to you live, Bruce?
Oh,
so the Sunburst Jimmy Page looking.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the RO. That's a 1960. You know what I'm trying to say?
Wow.
And so I got it for $1,800. You know what those cost?
Well, that's like that Mexican telly I got. It's a 2015, and it has humbuckers and double coil tap in it. And I stole it for $430. I mean,
y'all want to put together a smacking off band?
We should.
Let's do it. What's that playing though?
I can play the tambourine.
That's what I was thinking. Let's see. I love guitar, and I've been playing my whole life, but I'll play bass.
I love what your daughter's doing.
I can be the drummer. You probably smoke me.
Your daughter rocks. She's got.
Okay, Bob. Then who's playing? Bruce. Sorry, not Bruce. Ed, you're playing bass. Wash tub bass.
Yeah.
Okay.
He can sing too if he wanted to, but I can play drums. You can play guitar. No, I want it now, Doug. So I'll bring you a Holy Grail Japanese SG from the 80s, and that old 1960s Vox amp and the pedal of doom and destruction, and we never even turned it on. Why didn't you put your greasy mitts on there and get her done just like I did?
All right, this
You
is
know
the
where
thing.
we could also go pawning right now? New York.
He was afraid he was going to smoke my ass. You know, you should have smoked my ass because I need that. Every time that somebody smokes my ass playing, Doug, it inspires me to another level, right?
What do you
That's
mean?
what it takes.
Who smokes your ass?
That's what I'm saying. So when we met Bailey at in Alabama,
Yeah.
right, and I brought you should have played my SG and smoked my ass to inspire me to get to go.
Yeah. I remember you did have a guitar with you.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't smoke no. I don't smoke no ass, Bob.
Oh, okay.
I'm old school. I'm old school.
Yes, well, but I do like it when people are better than I am. If they could smoke me, I'm like, well, it inspires me to go deeper, and I get a sense of ennui.
I have
right?
no clue if I can smoke you on guitar, Bob. I still play. I mainly just fool around on an acoustic.
But you know what though, is if people are two different styles of players and it locks in, I like that too. I love playing with other people. That's why it's sad for me that Bruce and you are far away. We could have rock and roll. We could talk about this.
Don't forget me.
My biggest issue with you guys that I wouldn't be able to sync with you guys is I'm not a guitar enthusiast. I'm one of them people who if I pick up a guitar and I love it, I'll buy it. But like I don't really know like. I've never done any kind of custom shit on a guitar. I don't even know what pickups are in it most of the time. I just know if I've got a decent pickup for distortion typically.
I bought a cheap Epiphone SG Special. And I just put in P90s in it. And that guitar rocks. It was the best $400 I ever spent.
The only guitar I got right now, I spent like $120 on. It's a Squire, and I've played a few solos on some of my daughter's stuff, and yeah, I mean, like my brain tells me that I can do some shit that I was doing back in the '90s, but it takes me maybe 3 hours of just cutting track after track to actually nail that shit.
So I got a Squire. I call it the Blue Pig.
Let me tell you what's possible in the world of guitars. So in 2015, I seen an ad on Guitar Center for a Les Paul Melody Maker, right? The 2014.
That's a sweet little guitar.
Yeah, my yellow guitar. And it was a closeout. And they $400, guys. I paid $400 for this Melody Maker, which is basically a student guitar with two P90s, right?
Two knobs.
$400.
That's it. Very simple guitar.
And that's the greatest guitar I own. It's the best one I own. It's the best one I ever played or touched. It's the easiest. I can bend the bottom string plumb up to the top, right? And I'm just saying, right? It is amazing. The best fretboard.
That's how it's always gone for me, Bob. It's like I had the best guitar I ever had that I love to play and I love the sound of it was a Samick.
I've seen some good ones of those.
A Samick, and it was so cheap. It was like I don't remember what it was. It was under $200, and I had people tell me don't buy that fucking thing, but I jumped on it in a Guitar Center, or I don't remember where I bought it, but I love the sound of it, and like I don't even remember what happened to the Samick. I wish I had it because it could be the Samick. It may be my hands at this point, Bob.
Well,
I'm not wanting the Samick. I'm wanting my hands from the 1990s, Bob.
Practice is my problem. Is that I don't practice like I should. Right? I'll get on a kick where I'm playing for like a week and I'm really smoking it and practicing, and I get locked in, and then I get distracted by fixing the motorcycles.
Hey, let's not do the hard rock thing then, because Ed's kind of chill. Let's do a drum circle instead.
Oh, even better. I got 2 sets and a whole bunch of other. Now my wife has a doctorate in percussion, right? And truth be told,
I know it now.
Well, so she could be our drummer, and I also play bass. So it's wonderful to have rock and roll, and she's also a great organist.
Play the organ.
Oh yeah, and I've got a 1960s Lowry organ that is all tube hooked to 2 Leslie's 147s. They're also tubing. So
Ed can do recitations. You can do the what can he do? He can do the Pledge of Allegiance over some really cool music.
Remember when we had that big discussion between the Beatles and the Rolling Stones, Doug?
I've had that big discussion so many times in my life.
You changed.
They all run together
opinion. Now. You changed my whole opinions on the Beatles.
At some point, like my favorite band when I was young was Kiss. At some point, I was at a party and I said something about Kiss, and some fucking guy said, "Kiss ain't a fucking pimple on the Beatles' ass," and I was like, "Fuck you and fuck the Beatles," and it just kind of preyed on me for a few years, and then I started listening to the Beatles. And
when you start playing them, you get a whole total different appreciation.
Yeah, there was definitely something different going on. Even my daughter noticed it. She says most of the 60s stuff sounds creepy to her, except the Beatles. The Beatles stuff, and I mean, I guess creepy in a bad way. I like creepy stuff myself, but she got mad at me the other day. I'm like, the Doors, in my opinion, live, just playing, are better than the Beatles. The Beatles couldn't pull this shit off.
No, they couldn't do it. They didn't do it. They stopped doing it in 1966.
Absolutely.
Well, that's why they went into the. Well, there again, that's when they. I don't know whether they went into the recording studio for that purpose, but some of the shit that came out of that recording studio at Abbey Road was phenomenal.
It couldn't really be replicated on stage unless they'd had like a huge bunch of guys around. And that's why they hired Billy Preston. Billy Preston's like a one-man orchestra with that keyboard, right? Yeah. So by the time the last few albums the Beatles made had Billy Preston in, plus all those recording techniques, is amazing. The layers and layers and layers of stuff they did. But guys, what ended Kiss for me, because I was also in the Kiss Army, Doug, and I loved Kiss as well, right? And but what ended it for me is I was in one of my cousin's cars, and he popped his tape in there, and it goes.
Ozzy.
Yeah, Blizzard of Oz. So that
didn't that didn't end Kiss for me. I mean, I was still a big Kiss fan, but I was a big Ozzy fan too when I heard the first time I heard that shit.
So that was the first album that I ever heard that blew my mind. So that album and Van Halen 1 to me was the biggest game changers of my life music wise that I ever heard.
I actually like Van Halen 2 better than Van Halen 1. But
I love that too.
Yeah, they're both awesome albums. All of them. Guys, let's go ahead and help Nikki and Ed out, because we're talking shit that they don't want to talk.
Yeah.
And
I'm enjoying it.
Okay, so let's figure out what's by next week. Okay, so
what your guys' thoughts on what Madani just did? Mom Donnie just did in New York.
What did he do this time?
So they ran a $12 billion deficit.
Did he say that he got rid of the deficit?
He got rid of the deficit, which he did. Okay. Yeah. But how he did it they've already got a petition with over 700,000 people wanting him removed from office. The first thing he did is he literally took out a loan from the state of New York for the $12 billion and doesn't have to repay it until 2038. So it's going to be someone else's issue. He took away or lowered, I'd have to look up exactly, the teacher's pension. He took away veterans, the funding for veterans. He took away a lot of stuff that now people are like, oh, hell no. We have a big issue, when he's just around parading that, he did it without letting anyone know how he did.
Well, so New York City in Washington with the police and firemen retirement, they stole all that money, and it's now in the.
That's what he just did in New York. He took away all the veterans, New York veterans, and then also dipped into the police. Firemen, EMTs, any pretty much, law enforcement.
He took federal VA money. He took money from, because
Yep.
No, I don't know any states that provides money for veterans. The only source of money I know for veterans is the Veterans
It's
Administration.
through their hospitals.
So that's
It's,
interesting. Surely there'd have to be a challenge to that. I mean, because it's a big deal.
That's
Even for
federal
one person.
money. He can't
yeah,
be
Yeah,
taking that shit.
it's really, really bad when they finally release. And it took the governor to release how he did it, or how, because she was like, you tell him the truth, which she don't like him to begin with. And she has a big thing on his head right now. He wants to tax all the one percenters, your multimillionaires and your billionaires.
Well,
And
he's
Well, they're
slipping
just
down
gonna,
into the
they'll
general.
just leave.
yeah,
There,
so the
he
governor,
wants to go
no.
into the millionaires now.
Yep.
He wants
Mhm.
he can't get the big money, so he's now sliding down to the upper middle
And
class
she's
people.
not allowing that either. So now he's going in and pretty much going to end up raising the taxes to fund all the bullshit that he's doing of just your everyday people. And
crazy.
he's running around, and of course the crazy liberals of New York are like, look what he did for us. You need to look what he did for you. So you're
Okay,
sitting at zero right
it's
now,
just beginning.
but your
Yep.
future mayor and governor is going to be freaking screwed come 2038, because that shit's not going to be paid back.
I mean, just watching it. I mean, I don't know what to expect, but
And
I
now
know
that
that it never goes the way that you would think it would. Somehow he'll hang on to power, and he'll probably he'll finish his term. He'll get voted out.
He will. And the teachers are already like, you know what? We're already getting paid shit to begin with, and you just destroyed our pension. They're looking at, moving, of course, which is hard for them. Like, I was reading comments from quite a few that are like 10 years to give up what they've worked so hard for in New York City and then move to another state. That's hard. You're giving that up.
Okay, so let's
So
end
what
on.
about the protesters in the Jewish neighborhoods in New York City that he's supposed to be behind? Has any heard about that?
What is it?
So I thought when you went to Mondami, I thought you was going to protest in Jewish neighborhoods. So he's supporting protests in Jewish neighborhoods by pro-Palestinian groups.
Yep. And
And
he wants war in the streets. Is
He
what
does.
he wants.
they're chanting for
And that's what
intifada
he's
in
gonna
people's
get.
neighborhoods.
It ain't going to be pretty.
Yeah, well, what it's going to do is bring the feds in, and he ain't going to like that.
Yeah,
No, they do want that. So they
But
can
they
say that
started
they're
this
fascist.
petition yesterday, and it's already over 700,000 New York City citizens.
And so they want that, Doug. They want that so that they can come into the midterms, that they can demonstrate at least to their base that Trump is
I
a
don't
fascist.
think that works so well for them in Minnesota.
Mm-mm.
Well, I thought that was true too, but I seen a guy the other day that seemed like a normal guy, and he spewed everything that the NEA.
He had the opposite of view as you did.
Yeah, it was opposite to the extreme, and I'm sure I was up because words like the pedophile, on and on and on and on. The Iranians are all right. Why are we messing with them?
Mm-hmm.
The poor, on and on and on. I'm like, wow, I would have never dreamed this. I mean, there's people that suck that up, just like I
Look
suck
at
up.
my post. Read the comments on my post. When they don't have anything else to say, that's what it turns to. And I literally shake my head at the stuff they spew, because seriously, you're going, how could you ever think this?
I just, here's what I'm going to say, and this is probably pissed some people off on here, but I just wish that Trump would have threw it out to the DOJ and just let them do everything they could. Yeah. But I think that he's definitely there's some reason he don't want all of it exposed.
I'm not sure on that.
I don't think it's because I don't think they got anything on him. If they did, it would have came out a long time ago.
Hey, I'm also at this point because of what just happened with his civil court rape trial with whatever her name is,
Carol.
Yeah, so they put a halt to it, and they're looking at
it's gone back up to the Supreme Court.
Yeah,
is
it's
what,
more
and
than
they're going to be
likely
the
going to have to go to
determining
the
factor.
Supreme Court, and more
Yeah,
than
he got
likely
hit way
going-
harder on that than what legally it would have.
Yes,
warranted.
83
and
million or 87 million.
yes, and
Yeah.
so the main thing that the reason they did it, and of course liberals are saying it's 500 different reasons, but if you look at the reason, actually court documents, is because when he was running for election this last time, she also accused him of 7 different years that he raped her in different places.
Oh,
Gee,
So now
well, I thought she can remember the year.
exactly, and then all of a sudden he was running now, it was like 97, 98, 2000, like she had a list a mile long.
He was a raping machine, wasn't he, Nikki?
He was,
Yeah.
and in stores with people, everyone there. When the man doesn't even normally shop on his own, he has someone do
It's
it
got
for him.
every earmark of some bullshit.
Yeah,
And you know, that case, the case that it was founded on, Doug, was just it was just going up, and what's his name dug it up
Yep.
and reinstituted it and put it back on the books, and that's how they got Trump.
yep.
All right, so guys, let's end on this note.
Mhm.
So Trump just went to China.
Mhm.
I hear China's fixing to be buying. They're fixing to replace their Iranian oil with U.S. oil.
They are
that's
from Alaska.
Okay,
Hell yeah.
so that's cool. So
Right.
really, what's going on with this Iran thing? Is Trump just holding this shit down until the world adjusts
Well,
to a world without Iranian oil?
no, this is one of the biggest things that came out of this China trip was he has full cooperation now with China with what he's doing in Iran.
Well, that's what they're saying.
Mhm.
But at the same time, it really doesn't matter. If they go, here's the thing: the world has enough oil to do away with Iran as a player.
Oh no, I agree, but that's why I'm bringing that up is because how many have said on the show and it's like, oh, that's it. China's going to jump in. We're doing this stupid war, and China's going to come after us. I mean, we heard it from Dane probably 50 times. So
China really can't afford to do it. They don't have. I mean, right now they're way down on their supply.
and I just love that continue repeating that so that he can eat his fucking words.
Well, okay, so if China's going to be buying oil from Alaska and the U.S., then we basically have leverage there
Yes.
where we didn't have before.
Yes, and then we have the UAE, which we kind of discussed about other countries and different places actually going boots on the ground. They'd had enough of Iran going after them, and now they are doing direct hits.
So it looks to me
UAE
like Trump
and Saudi
Trump-
Arabia.
Mhm.
Trump is just going to hold the Strait down until the world adjusts. And
Yeah.
after they adjust, he's going to, at some point, we may just leave. And when we do, Iran will start selling oil again, and that's just going to bring the price down even further.
Yep, and I feel like
But see,
said
he
back-
wants them to get into a financial position where they are so hamstrung.
Right now,
And
I don't
with
I don't even think he cares if it goes to the midterm because the
Nope.
Democrats have already hung themselves.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter on any which way you turn it, spin it. He's going to set back because now these other countries are doing the dirty work. We're just controlling the strait at this point, and we're just going to set back and watch them dig their own grave.
Iran seized a ship today. Am I correct on that? Anybody?
I'm sorry.
See
What?
what
Did,
now? Yeah,
Did-
they
did
see the
Iran-
shipwreck
They
near
seized
the
a ship.
UAE.
yeah, the
Yeah.
UAE ship.
I actually think he likes that kind of shit too because that
Mhm.
still makes people not want to do business there, and
Yeah.
I think that's what Trump wants.
Yeah.
How's the Iranian Navy moving anyway? That's what I don't understand. They're able to take boats out to the coast of the UAE, and we don't see that.
We're
How does
basically
that work?
we basically sealed the ends of the strait, and we're letting Iran fuck around in the middle a little bit. I
Mhm.
don't think that Trump really cares. I think Trump doesn't. Trump wants other the countries that do business there. He's wanting them to seek other places to do business.
And
Yeah,
that's
he wants to bankrupt them. He
he
wants
wants
them
them to-
never to be in a position of power ever again.
It's obvious because he's not trying to do anything. He's not he's not restarting the war. He's just sitting back and stopping all exports and imports from coming in.
He's
And I
strangling them
also
to
think
death.
it's not just buying it from other places. I think it's buying from the U.S. I don't think he wants
I
them
think
to
Venezuela will benefit too at
Mhm.
some point. But right now
But they
they're
benefit
having a
from
little
that.
bit of an issue getting their production back up.
Hey,
Yeah, but
you know
they
who's going to benefit
from it.
now?
So
Cuba.
Cuba, yeah. Well, as soon as we make them the 51st state, of course.
Yes, they will. They will be the 52nd or
So
51st.
you got Venezuela as the 51st, don't you?
Yeah, yeah.
They rejected it. Or sorry, the president down there said she didn't want.
Hey, I wouldn't be surprised Colombia too.
Well, we could just go ahead and remove her. So we'll send the same people down and take her ass out too, right?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
All right, guys. What can we say that we haven't already said tonight? We've said it all. We've talked guitars. What else did we talk?
I think that everything that we've been discussing over the last month or so, we're actually seeing go that way.
Oh, Georgia. That's another one that just it's ripe. I mean, that's a big ripe watermelon sitting there. Georgia is getting ready to explode. If they find any amount of hanky panky in Georgia,
Well, they've already found it, Bruce.
It's
right now. It's just they're sorting out the hanky panky is really all that's happening.
It's been a fun week. It really has.
It has.
So,
My favorite, honestly, is all the stuff that China has agreed to, not just the oil, but also being they stand behind this Iranian war, and then add on top of they're now upping their buying of all their soybeans from us. That is big. And they also what was the other one? Liquid natural gas from us.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah, that's a big deal.
600 new Boeing airplanes.
you know what?
Yeah.
I think just real quick before we close, I would like to say that what I am seeing now is with the resurgence of America Power, the world is seeing exactly just how dominant we can be. And when we flex our muscle and we do the things correctly and do things the right way, okay, it's making the rest of the world understand we are still a badass.
Well, see, the thing is we moved from a world where soft power was being was the way everything was run, and we're moving back to hard power.
Did you hear what Dad Sad said? You know who Dad Sad is? He's a Jewish Muslim or Jewish who from Lebanon, I think he is from, and he was saying that the Iranians look at the Western nations as women to be mounted, that they look at society to be very weak and very capable of them controlling what they want to do to us.
Exactly. I seen that.
That's wild. I never would have thought.
But do you not agree on the fact of watching what they just did for Trump just landing in China compared to what China has done for past presidents? I'm sorry. When I say that there was freaking, you want to say that no country respects our president, right there showed me you're full of shit.
Well, the thing is that China, see, our media kind of hides this, but they're in a massive down spiral their economy, and they need American cooperation to climb back up, and they know it. The citizens know it.
But he's had the same, every country he goes to, they do this for him. So it always makes me laugh when I hear, everyone laughs and doesn't respect him and this and that. And I'm like, where have you been?
But why does the question I have, guys, is why do the generation of Dane's age and that elk have this doom and gloom cloud over their head?
It's got to be the education from their era, Bruce.
But he's not too much younger than me, is he? I'm 42. Like, I just, maybe it's just the way also I was raised. Having no patience for one.
Well, I've been watching Dane for a while. He jumps in and out of Camp Trump.
Yeah, talking.
And when he's out, he is out, buddy. He is out. But it makes
no sense. Like, I can understand if people, like, I've been very, against some of the things that Trump's done. It's one thing to be vocal, but then to pull in all of this other stuff. I'm going to be honest. I'm sick of hearing about the Epstein files. Nothing's going to be done. Move the hell.
That's the last thing on my mind. I can give a shit less.
You know what? I don't like the way it went down, but you're right. No. Nothing's going to happen. And here's the thing. If we're going to do a comparison, I mean, the other side didn't even come close to putting anything out. They concealed everything.
And what my whole thing is I'm so sick of it because honestly, they don't really care what's in there. They just want something to go against Trump. It doesn't matter. They've already said that 89% of the people that's in the files that actually they have evidence that's done something, pictures, you name it, are Democrats, Democratic freaking donors.
What I keep thinking is, like, if Trump was to sick the DOJ on the whole fucking lot of them, what you would have is a whole bunch of money spent, and in the end, very few prosecutions.
Yeah.
I would.
I think that he knows that, and it's just going to tear. It's going to tear the country apart, and in the end, hardly anybody that we know of, all the big names, none of them go to jail.
No.
Yeah, that still leaves a bad taste in the American citizen mouth when the person who is illegally prosecuted and the government goes after them and they're hung out to dry. Mm-hmm. It shows you talk about an uneven judicial system.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
It's like a two-tiered system, and one for them.
It's when is fairness coming to the average man?
There's no fairness anymore. It's one side against the other, but one side has gone so freaking insane. They really do not care. They don't care if anything's fair. They don't care if they want it the way they want it because they hate someone.
Yep.
And one thing that stands out to me is we're talking about our past president that has had 12 rape accusations. Like, true, these women have every thing down to a T. They didn't go public. They went to the police with it. His own daughter, came out, and these people literally were saying, we don't care. It's because we hate Trump.
Damn it. That's heavy, isn't it?
It is. It's heavy. Let's see. Next week. So right now I'm in a situation where Tuesdays are going to be fucked up. I don't know exactly how long, but definitely next week. And so I'm good for Thursday or Friday next week.
Either works for me.
All right, we'll surprise you guys.
Yes.
Sounds awesome.
All right.
All righty, guys.
Later.
Thank you, everybody, for watching.
Night.
I'm the king of this shit, yeah, I'm built to last. Bitches trying to front, but they don't got the craft. Rolling with my crew, we move quick like a flash. Living that street life, making money, making cash. I hate your team, they just want to crash. But I'm balling on a level, yo, I'm sipping on that sass. Smacking off the podcast, don't step to me. Talking all that noise, but you're just a parody. Fuck your mama, know you hate my clarity. We live in thug life, that's the reality. I'm the boy voice of the streets, I'm the absolute truth. Got these fuckers shook, they just playing the sleuth. You claiming that you tough, but where's your proof? I'm flexing all these wannabes, I'm the living proof. Hard street living, always rolling deep. In the shadows making moves, never lose my sleep. My rhymes hit hard like a punch from the street. So fuck with me, you know you can't compete. Stacking off the podcast, don't you step to me. Talking all that noise, but you're just a parody. Fuck your mama, you know I did. We live in thug life, that ain't no shit. Smack, yeah, we making waves. Cast hitting hard like we digging graves. Got that fire in my soul, feel the heat that raves. In this life, boy, you either thug or just slaves. With my crew by my side, we rise up like kings. Life's a game of chess and I'm pulling the strings. Got the world on my back when I'm counting these blings. Motherfuck your team, they don't know where to sing. I'm the real deal, no imitation. Speeding raw truth, no hesitation. Built from the struggle, pure determination. Smacking off the podcast, my revelation. Smacking off the podcast, don't you step to me. Talking all that noise, but you're just a parody. Fuck your mama, know you hate my clarity. We live in thug life, that's the reality. I'm the voice of the streets, I'm the absolute truth. Got these fuckers shook, they just playing the sleuth. You claiming that you tough, but where's your proof? I'm flexing on these wannabes, I'm the living proof. Hard street living, always rolling deep. In the shadows making moves, never lose my sleep. My rhymes hit hard like a punch from the street. So with me, you know you can't compete. Smacking off the podcast, don't you step to me. Talking all that noise, but you're just a fucking freak. Fuck your mama, you know we all did. We live in thug life, that ain't no shit.
What your daddy don't like, you don't. I'll be you back in Mortal. The sun's back alive. What you white, like the gun, one together. We know, don't do, we know. We know, don't do, we know. What you do.
Smacking off the podcast, yeah, we making waves. Cash hitting hard like we digging graves. Got that fire in my soul, feel the heat that raves. In this life, boy, you either thug or just slaves. With my crew by my side, we rise up like kings. Life's a game of chess and I'm pulling the strings. Got the world on my back when I'm counting these blings. Motherfuck your team, they don't know where to sing. I'm the real deal, no imitation. Speaking raw truth, no hesitation. Built from the struggle, pure determination. Smacking up the podcast, my revelation.